Hello, everyone, and welcome to Influencer Mindset Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about nutrition. We are going to talk about the veganism lifestyle, and we have a very, very special guest with us, Mr. Norbert Akerman, who has adapted a vegan lifestyle approximately 12, 13 years ago. And since then, he's been, just living his life, raising his children at the same way, in a vegan way. And, you know, being a vegan for so long gets you to be, how can I say it, somebody who knows one thing or two about that lifestyle. And we want to ask Norbert about vegan lifestyle, how does that affecting him, the benefits that he's feeling, being a vegan parent with his children, and many, many, many more. Also, I want to mention that Norbert Akerman is also the owner and inventor of a shoe brand called Zuna, right?
Yes, Zuna shoes.
Zuna Shoes, and the website is zunashoes.com.
That's correct.
Zunashoes.com. So check out his shoes at zunashoes.com. If you ever interested in some very a barefoot kind of style of shoes. Now, how are you, Norbert? How's it going today? How are you feeling?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. Very excited to be here. I've been listening to your podcast and just really great content, especially about the content about parenting and just being always positive. So it's something that I highly recommend that people check out on a regular basis, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much. That really, really means a lot to me, knowing that you're also listening to a podcast and to the other chapter, and definitely encouraging all the listeners to share this video, like, subscribe, and just to give us a little bit more motivation to continue and to keep on providing content that it's very valuable to the listeners, content that could really improve the lives of whoever listens to it, and that's the purpose of the podcast in general. So we really wanted to know, Norbert, what was the pivotal moment that led you to adopt the vegan lifestyle? What happened? When did it happen, and 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 how come you already all of a sudden made that decision to completely change your life?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. So, over the years, I just was not feeling well. A lot of stomach issues, just wasn't feeling well. I Nobody had an answer. I went to different doctors, etc. No answer. And then with my mom, I happened to go to a raw vegan retreat, and I learned about how the body works, what food does to you, and it just really opened my eyes to everything. So I started, got really serious about it. Initially, you know, I was, I don't know if I was exactly on the SAD diet, the standard American diet, but switching from the SAD diet to a vegan diet, your body's not ready. So like initially I wasn't feeling well, but over time it just, I was feeling great. You're light, you don't have that sleepiness after eating. So I just really enjoyed it. And ever since then I've stuck with it.
So you're saying that you were experiencing health problems, and
Yes,
because of that, you figured out maybe I'm not eating right, maybe it's my
exactly.
nutrition, and maybe I need to change something. Your mom took you to this vegan retreat.
Yeah,
God bless her soul, and and then you really got hooked on the lifestyle. and
exactly.
and when you so when you adopted the lifestyle, like how long did it take you until you started really feeling changes, like feeling, I don't know, changes in mood, like you said, changes in the way you carry yourself, etc.
Uh, Probably 3 to 6 months. It took a while because when you completely change the way you eat, or you completely change something about your life, initially you don't know what's going on. You're kind of lost. So it took me, a little while to get used to the new way of eating, the new way of feeling. So it took about 3 to 6 months, and then I, got totally into the groove.
Hmm. 3 to 6 months. Wow. Okay. Um, that's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. Okay, I see that our live didn't work so well. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to work on that for next time that we're gonna go
Okay.
live. But anyways, we can continue here. So that's really interesting. So I pre-hand prepared a few questions to ask you, obviously,
Sure.
because I wanted to kind of make sure I don't miss anything from the questions that I thought about, and thought that also our audience will find uh, valuable, that has value in them. So many people have concerns about obtaining adequate nutrition on a vegan diet. So they say if you don't eat meat, you're not going to get enough vitamin
B12.
D, B12,
Yes.
omega 3, or all those
Sure.
oils.
Sure.
So what do you say to these people?
So with any diet, you have to be really conscious about what you eat. So you could be vegan and eat, you know, pasta and really processed food all the time. So if you want to thrive in any diet, and again, you don't have to be vegan. Whatever diet you want to thrive in, you want to get enough vegetables. You want to get a variety of foods. So if you're vegan, if you're really aware of what you're eating. So, I make sure I eat a lot of greens. I make sure I eat a lot of nuts, things like that. So you get the protein, you get the right oils, olive oil. Add those things into your diet. So then you can get all the nutrition you need. One, just to be clear, B12 is an issue for all vegans. And actually, B12, my understanding is an issue for all non-vegans as well. So I need to supplement with B12. That's the only thing that you cannot get from a plant-based diet.
So you buy a separate supplement for B12?
Yes.
Okay. And uh, is there besides that, is there anything, any food source that you are consuming uh, to balance those nutrition deficiencies?
So I mean, I really don't think I'm, just based on blood work, I'm not deficient in anything. So you could get if you're eating a wide variety, again, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits, lots of nuts, avocado, you really can thrive on this lifestyle. Just supplement with B12.
Hmm. It's really amazing because there is so much, I don't know, stigma, misconception. People just don't understand that diet completely. What are some of those misconceptions or myths in veganism that you think that you could maybe shed a little bit some more light on, and maybe even debunk them? You know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
sure. I mean, everybody, first question is, how do you get your protein? So that's
Right.
everybody's concerned about that. So again, protein is extremely important, especially as you're aging, with your muscles. So if you eat, I mean, a lot of vegetables have protein in them. I make sure, again, going back to nuts, I get a good amount, I eat a good amount of nuts. So those kind of things, you can, get adequate protein. People think, again, like what you said, that you're undernourished, but actually, again, if you're going away from processed foods and try to eat as much whole foods as possible, you're better off than the standard diet. Absolutely.
Okay, so you're saying that I mean, either way you look at it, when you eat vegan, you well off than eating the standard American diet, also known as SAD,
Right, exactly.
which represent pretty much the burgers, fried,
Yes,
high fat, high carbohydrate, um, and then pizza and stuff like that.
exactly.
So when we so obviously just replacing that with any type of vegan alternative will already
Absolutely.
improve your life, will already make a difference in your life in the long run. But could you also provide a little bit some practical tips, like things that our listeners who are interested in transitioning to a
Sure.
vegan lifestyle, uh, how can they effectively navigate the challenges and ensure a smooth transition into this lifestyle?
Yeah, excellent question. So I think it's a mindset change. So if you commit to it, but you want to eat a meatloaf, or you want to try to replicate those comfort foods that maybe you're used to, then you will be disappointed. I don't think those types of foods, especially when they're trying to mimic cheese or those kind of meat dishes. I think it's a mind change that now you're okay with a new type of food. They're delicious, new type of food, and it's just a different experience. So I think being okay with trying new things, being patient with yourself, and maybe go slow. Maybe start one day a week, or once in a while, like eat less meat, or less dairy products. Just slowly get into it.
Amazing. What about like socially?
Sure.
Do you feel that it's kind of
So
sets
it's,
you back a little bit
it's a good
socially, or
it's a good question. So I feel like it's a positive and negative, because um, if you when you're vegan, or if you follow kashrus, um, somebody at work gives you a candy bar, or gives you whatever, like they're eating some junk food. You can't just, you have to stop and kind of ask, is this, does this have dairy? Does it have, eggs or whatever? So same thing. So like, I think it forces you to think before you eat. And just like, we're proud being, Jewish. If if people see you're serious, they respect you. So I haven't found any downsides as far as social. Especially if you live, in a place like Los Angeles, there's many alternatives when you go out. It is a bit challenging for children. Being completely honest. There's always birthday cakes, etc. So if you go, and you really want your children to follow the same thing, you have to be prepared. Bring your own snacks, bring your own sweets, if you want to make sure that they continue being vegan.
okay? So as far as parenting as a vegan parent, you always have to kind of be on the lookout, make sure
Yes,
you bring with you vegan snacks,
exactly.
and you educate your children, in a way that um, it's a serious thing,
Right.
you
And
know.
I mean, and again, you want to do it in a way where you don't create negative feelings in the kids, like where they resent the whole thing. So
Right.
you want to try to do it in a positive way.
Right. So yeah, obviously children, you know, they exposed to many commercials and
Right.
billboards and stuff about meat, and they see their friends eating meat, so
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
it's not an easy thing
Yes.
to have them adopt a lifestyle which is require you to be very restrictive of many different things that are available to children there to eat. And yeah, so you're saying it's possible. It's
Yeah.
possible.
Absolutely. It's
Well,
possible.
what would be the tip you would give a parent that would wanna tell their children you know uh, to adopt that lifestyle without having the child rebel.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's very very tough, especially like we started with the kids from when they were born. We started out like that, so it's more of a challenge. I feel like when they're older. However, if you introduce foods that they really enjoy, which may take many tries, fruit or special kind of dishes, and then they start liking that. I think they'll be, just be patient. I think is the with everything with children. Try to introduce them to things that they would like.
Cool. What would be like a regular day in your life? Like you wake up in the morning, what
Sure,
do you eat for breakfast?
sure. So, recently I completely changed my diet. I'm still 100% vegan, but um, I started using a CGM, a continuous glucose monitor, to monitor how my body reacts to sugar. So, previously I would eat lots of grains for breakfast with fruit, and I could really see on the CGM how it affected my body. My blood sugar would go up like crazy, especially different oats, those kind of things. So I'm not 100% ketogenic, but I really believe in that kind of diet where less sugar. So for breakfast now I basically I eat lunch for breakfast.
Hmm.
So I will cook a ton of vegetables, whatever's in season. So for example, today I cooked broccoli, beet leaves. Let's see what else. What else was in there? Carrots. Um, let's see what else. Fennel, those kind of things. Lots of greens, and cook that with some oil and some salt, and ate it with different kinds of nut butters and some tahini. That's for breakfast. For lunch, I'll create a smoothie with that has nut butters, spinach, a little bit of banana, those kind of things. So that's like typical like breakfast lunch for me.
Hmm. So you don't eat dinner? Are you
No. Yeah, dinner is different because it's with the kids. So today I had a big salad for dinner with avocado and tahini and oil. So that's a typical dinner for me.
okay? Like you would have more vegetables. So you're saying that you know even though you're adapting a vegan lifestyle, you still try to keep it low carb,
Yes, yes.
gluten free,
Not yeah. I mean,
not 100%
not one
gluten
hundred percent,
free.
but definitely. I mean, if you see like how the sugar affects your body, it's like it was so eye opening. So I'm when you want to keep your sugar levels like steady. So I experimented with many foods. It took me probably 6 months to kind of figure it out, but now like I feel like this is a good good type of food where like everything is kind of keeps my sugar level steady, and you could still build muscle. You could still do all that. You just don't have these spikes.
Oh, I see. I see. What do you say about many research that came out about vegan meats that they are actually not good for you. For example, like Beyond Meat
Yeah.
and Impossible. Some people say like Impossible is genetically modified food. It's not healthy. Same thing with Beyond Meat, that it's actually even worse for your health
Yeah.
than beef.
I mean, we use it sparingly. We do use those things. However, I, I, I think you're fooling yourself if you think those things are good for you. They have to, um, kind of mimic and kind of change the way the different grains and et cetera to kind of have that same feel. So I am, I definitely don't think those are good for you. They're highly processed. So again, once in a while it's okay, but if you're turning into a vegan lifestyle and that is your staple, I think you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, personally, I was, I tried the burgers, Beyond Burgers. I still buy them. I have them in my fridge. It's a good alternative for
Right,
sometimes, but yeah, but like you said, not all the time. But again, it's never the same. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
uh, I've been hearing a podcast uh, about nutrition, that there is certain things in red meat that nothing can replicate.
sure, true, yeah,
Nothing, like you can't replace it. I mean, this is only there, and it's the only source.
right,
And if you want to get those, essential vitamins and minerals that are essential for brain
right,
functioning, and there was even researchers that came out and said that if your body is lacking those minerals and vitamins that are inside the meat, then you might even find yourself developing all kind of mental illnesses like
hmm,
depression and anxiety, God forbid. But I know that this is more also, has to do with gut health in general.
right,
Gut health is something that really affects everything in our life, the way we feel, the way we uh, our energy level during the day, and all that good stuff.
but
So
yeah, just to interrupt, like gut, I completely agree. So you know, try to incorporate fermented food. So sauerkraut is a big deal in our house. We eat that all the time. Just that good bacteria, I think
right.
is very important. I completely agree.
Yeah, so yeah, totally. Tons of fragmented food, and also if you can get like a probiotic
Yeah.
supplement, which
Yes.
I add personally. I take a probiotic supplement, plus I also take enzymes that help
Okay.
me break the food that I eat, and fiber. Sometimes,
Yeah.
when I feel like that my food doesn't have enough fiber, and I eat fiber. So yeah, I mean, I have really experience with different lifestyle. I also did raw vegan, which was amazing. I
Yeah.
remember when I did raw vegan, that was like really a major drop in weight. That's something
Sure.
that I remember, because you pretty much eating only live fruits and vegetables, and nuts and stuff like that. But it's a very hard lifestyle, and it's hard
Sure.
socially, and you
Yes.
have to constantly be busy
Right.
with your food, constantly
Yes.
busy preparing and buying and shopping and all that stuff, which is like having another part-time job. But then I kind of started adopting the ketogenic diet, which really made a difference. Made a difference that I felt with the energy levels that I
Hmm.
had. Like I felt, more energy, more desire to just get out there and just go and do and go to the gym and work out, and just you just feel more vitality. I can't even
Hmm.
explain it. More vitality, but then Passover came, and that kind of broke a little
Right.
bit this lifestyle. So now I'm like maybe 70-30, but I'm
Hmm.
starting to go back to the ketogenic lifestyle, which is just happened to work out for me. Uh, for now, until I get to the goal of how much for the weight that I want to drop. Okay, so sometimes we also hear about, just like, vegan lifestyle has many advantages, not only like to the person who actually adopting the lifestyle, but it's also something that it has a very positive environmental impact on our planet. So, can you elaborate a little bit on how veganism contributes to this sustainability
Sure.
and the preservation of our planet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not an expert in this area. My understanding is it takes a tremendous amount of water. It takes a tremendous amount of like grass and feed to produce a cow. Also, my understanding is, the methane gas that the livestock produce, it has lots of negative effects on the environment. So I think if again, I'm not an expert in this area at all, but my understanding is if we consume less meat, less poultry, it'll be less strain on the environment.
Fantastic, fantastic. You know what? Anything that's good for the environment, it's good for me.
Yes.
Even though I'm not vegan, but I can tell you that I really care about the planet, and I know that vegan lifestyle does help in that manner. And I hope that eventually the whole food industry will be an industry that will not only um, hurt the planet, but will do the exact opposite. Actually, help the planet and preserve whatever it is that we still have to preserve, so we can live here for many, many more years happily and sustainably, and have beautiful vegetables and fruits and whatever it is that we need, that it's being provided to us, but our Creator will keep being provided. Thank you so much.
Just maybe a couple of things I could add, if you're
Sure.
okay. I think with any nutritional lifestyle, it's only one part of your overall health. So like one thing that I'm a big proponent of, in addition to that, is fasting. So I think fasting has a huge benefit to your overall body, gives your body a chance to rest. And I'm not talking about a dry fast, a fast that you could drink, or maybe even just consume minimal amount of calories. So my understanding from the research I read is, after a few days of fasting, something happens called autophagy, where cells that could be maybe precancerous cells, or cells that could have potential issues, they basically, like, just die. So your body gets rid of them.
That's you're talking about intermittent
No, no, no. I'm
fasting.
talking about full on fasting, where you don't eat for maybe 48 hours.
Just
And
water.
just water, just water. So, like, lots of things happen, in your body. You start using up the excess, fats that you have in your body as fuel. Gives your body a
That's
break.
That's amazing. You know what? That's actually a subject of its own that I
Oh
would
yeah,
love to,
yes.
invite you maybe one more time to do another episode and talk about fasting in general and the benefits of fasting, and how we can utilize it, and what research out there that we can uh, back on, and really take advantage of this amazing thing called fasting. Um,
And then,
Amazing, yeah.
yeah, and then one more thing, just so, like, again, I think about, like, nutrition as just one part of your overall being. I think to be healthy, you need to move, you need to lift weights, you need to do these kind of things, where again, from my understanding, is nutrition could do a lot of harm, but once you get your nutrition to, like, a really good level, there's only so much you can do. But moving your body, doing, putting strain on your muscles, that is huge for your overall health. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that it's not, you want to do all these things to have optimal health.
Right. So it's not only what you eat, it's also make sure you get your exercise, make sure you
Absolutely.
move your body. There is a saying that I love to use. It's called eat less, move more.
Yeah.
So we should all
Yeah.
eat less and move more,
Yeah. I love it.
and yeah, and get our juices flowing, and get all this extra weight that we accumulated during COVID off. So thank you guys for watching, and we're looking forward to see you at the next podcast. Thank you so much, Mr. Norbert Akerman. And remember to check out his website, zunashoes.com. And also, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.